You didn't lose her because you weren't enough. You lost her because you got too close. Because for some people, love doesn't feel like home. It feels like pressure, like losing control, like being slowly suffocated. And the closer you got, the more she disappeared, text by text, call by call, until one day she was gone. No fight, no closure, just silence. And somehow she looks happier without you, while you're left trying to understand how something that felt so real turned into nothing. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you won't just understand what happened, you'll never fall into this trap again. It didn't start cold. It started intense. She was different, effortless, easy, magnetic. The connection felt rare, like she saw you, like she chose you. And for the first time in a long time, you stopped looking because you thought, this is it. But here's what you didn't see. The beginning wasn't proof. It was the setup. Because when there's no expectations, no pressure, no future attached, even someone who fears closeness can feel safe. That's why it felt perfect. That's why she leaned in first. That's why she gave you everything before slowly taking it all back. It never happens all at once. That's why it confuses you. At first, it's small. Replies get slower. Energy feels off. Conversations lose depth. You feel it, but you ignore it because everything was so good. So you lean in. You ask, is everything okay? And that's when it starts. Not the breakup, the withdrawal. Because to her, that question doesn't feel like care. It feels like pressure. And pressure triggers distance. So she pulls back. And you? You step forward. And just like that, you've entered the trap. You think you're fixing it, but you're tightening it. The more you try to understand, the more she needs space, the more consistent you become, the more she feels overwhelmed. So she starts justifying the distance. Small things about you start becoming big things. Your habits, your tone, your presence. Things she once liked now feel like reasons to leave. Not because you changed, but because she needs a reason to escape what she's feeling. And what she's feeling is closeness. Then comes the moment. That doesn't make sense. She says things like, I don't feel the same. This isn't right. You deserve better. And you sit there, trying to connect the dots, because days ago, everything was fine. Or at least, you thought it was. But here's the truth most men never hear. She didn't lose feelings overnight. She shut them down. Because for her, feeling too much feels unsafe. So instead of leaning in, she disconnects and calls it clarity. And then, the part that destroys you. She looks happy, free, light, unbothered, while you're stuck replaying everything, wondering what you did wrong. But you didn't lose her to someone else. You lost her to relief, because the relationship, to her, started to feel like pressure, expectations, responsibility. And when it ended, it felt like freedom. So while you're grieving the loss, she's celebrating the escape. And if you chase her here, you confirm everything she felt, that you're too much, that she made the right choice. So this is where most men lose completely, because they react instead of understanding. This is where it shifts, not in her, in you, because the moment you realize you were trying to control something that was never yours to control, is the moment you get your power back. You cannot control her fears, her patterns, her decisions, but you can control your reaction, your dignity, your direction. So instead of asking, how do I get her back? You ask, why did I stay where I wasn't chosen? That question changes everything. Because if you're honest, you felt the shift early. You saw the signs, but you ignored them. You overgave, overexplained, overextended, trying to fix something that wasn't yours to fix. And that's the real trap. Not her leaving, but you abandoning yourself to keep her. That's what has to end. Not your ability to love, but your willingness to lose yourself doing it. So here's what you do now. You stop chasing clarity from her and start building clarity within yourself. You accept this, not as failure, but as direction. You don't need closure. You need discipline. You don't need her to understand you. You need to understand yourself. And most importantly, you learn this. The right woman will not punish you for showing up fully. So you rebuild silently. You become stable, grounded, unshaken, not cold, not distant, but no longer dependent. Because next time, you won't chase, you'll observe. And if she pulls away, you won't collapse. You'll let her go without losing yourself. You didn't lose her. You lost access to someone who couldn't hold what you offered. And that's not your failure. That's your filter. If this hit you, you already know why. You've lived it. You felt that confusion, that silence, that shift you couldn't explain. So here's the question. Are you still trying to understand her? Or are you finally ready to understand yourself? Drop your experience in the comments. And if you're done being controlled by confusion, subscribe to Void Response. Because here, we don't chase answers. We become them.